Dr. Oz is back with special celebrity guest Barbara Corcoran, hosted by Chief Communications and Marketing Officer Dan Macuga.
Good morning, USANA, and welcome to the Dr. Oz Show session. 1 year ago, when we held this event virtually for the first time, we really thought it would be the last time. Our hope was to be able to get together in person by now, but we're very grateful that we can connect through each other with technology. The ongoing challenges over the course of this past year has made one thing clear. We are very fortunate to have a 9-year relationship with one of the world's most respected doctors to lean on. As a trusted sponsorship partner of the Dr. Oz Show, we have the unique opportunity to share insight and gain broader understanding from a great friend and health ally. Dr. Oz has been working nonstop to keep us all informed, help us navigate this ever-changing landscape. Please welcome back to the Americas and Europe Convention, cardiothoracic surgeon, Emmy Award-winning host of the Dr. Oz Show, and our good friend, Dr. Mehmet Oz.
Hey, Dan, how are you?
I'm good. Where are you? Where are you?
I'm here. Can you
Where
see
is
me?
here?
I'm here.
Where? You, in rehearsal, you're supposed to be over here. How come you're not here? Now where'd you go? Oh, you know, we practice these things. You're supposed to be like a TV show host. You're supposed to be here.
You know, I may be able to navigate the health landscape, but apparently I'm having a hard time navigating this fancy new set of yours. Very impressive, by the way.
We have good people in our studios group. It's good. It's as good as your fancy new set for the Dr. Oz Show, I think.
I can see that. I gotta say, you guys are taking it to a whole new level. How you doing, Dan? How's the USANA family?
Oh, I tell you, everybody's doing fantastic. We are doing better than expected. How about the Oz clan?
Well, today's a very special day for the Oz clan because the youngest granddaughter, Gigi, is celebrating her 2nd birthday. There she is. I love coming with her. It makes it all worth doing.
Please pass on a happy birthday from the USANA family. That's awesome. Now, should we all take a collective sigh? It's been a rough year, an interesting year for sure. Would you agree?
I think so. I agree. You know, we fear most what we don't understand. That's why I love these gatherings, because we can teach each other. But COVID scared everyone because we didn't understand it. Now we know a lot about its risks, you know, who it can hurt, who it probably doesn't hurt. So it gets us, I think, a lot more comfortable going forward, even in the presence of a Delta variant.
Very true. And, you know, yesterday we had the pleasure of hearing from author and former monk Jay Shetty. He talked about the necessity of resilience, a topic that I know you've spoken a lot about, so has Kevin. When you look at life's challenges from a medical standpoint, how important is that mental pliability?
If you think about being an athlete, it's really about remaining springy in life. That's what your mind is like, too. You got to be able to bounce back from adversity. I mean, humans, we all are designed to break and then quickly recover. Otherwise, we'd lose our flexibility. We wouldn't be able to grow and prosper. And so keeping yourself pliable is where the whole game is won and lost.
And I think that pliability applies in many aspects of life. I know you as you're an incredible father, husband, grandfather, friend. What are your personal thoughts on weathering the storm?
I think the most important thing we all desire is connection. Humans crave it. And the pandemic has offered us a huge risk because we have the safety net of our families, of our communities that's lost on us. So we've got to be there for each other now more than ever.
It's very true. And we are fortunate to have technology to stay connected. And, you know, you and I have spent a lot of time talking to each other over the past 18 months, and you've literally been on the front lines of all of this. Are you seeing that, you know, quintessential light at the end of the tunnel? Are we getting there? What do you see happening?
Well, I'm looking forward to a lot of good things happening in the following year because we've gotten better at prevention. We understand the risks. We're getting better at treatments. I just put a post up celebrating the NIH for trying to repurpose 4 new medications, old medications that could work to stop COVID down. There's less morbidity, especially if you've been vaccinated. Because 95% plus of the people in the hospitals have not been vaccinated. So we have big clues about what we can do. And these vaccines, they are better than we ever imagined. And I know that people are hesitant about a lot of these steps, but you get to choose now. Last year, we didn't have a choice. This year, you do.
Yeah, I think the nice thing is exactly what you're doing. We've all had time to spend more time with family and really focus on that aspect. And, you know, speaking of looking forward to things, as you mentioned, during the Future Lab session, we had Dr. Rob Sinnott and Dr. Jeremy Tien mention a new book they helped write with you, as well as Dr. Anlong Zhu, who is the head of Beijing University of Chinese Medicine. Well, we have a big update to share about it, don't we?
We do. The book, it's got a title. It's a cool title. It's called Yin Yang You. Yin Yang You, and the subtitle is Biohacking with Ancient Codes, a User's Guide to Traditional Chinese Medicine. Here's why I'm so excited about this. And by the way, I want to announce right here for the first time, you ready for this? It's launching next month. And not just anywhere. We have a big book launch event. It's planned on September the 21st in conjunction with the United Nations General Assembly here in New York City. Now, this is also the week of the Health Corps Gala. That's the beautiful gathering we have to celebrate kids around the country learning about their bodies. It's an event that USANA so generously funds to help so many kids learn about health. We hope to get up to 250,000 children this year, and it's all because of USANA.
You know, it's truly an honor to partner with you on anything that's related to wellness, but especially Health Corps. They're doing good things. They're even doing it here in Utah, so we appreciate that. And I agree, September is definitely a big month for us at USANA. We'll also have some speakers on your show to talk about the messages in Yin Yang You, right?
Yeah, it's a big deal for not just USANA and my show, but the world. The book's going to launch, by the way, in China later this year, so it'll be in every language. But Dr. Zhu is going to be on the show. This is an iconic opportunity for us because we've got the top leaders in traditional Chinese medicine who are now bringing some of that wisdom to the West. And I think it's about time we really get thoughtful about what our ancestors figured out.
You know, and it really has been an extraordinarily collaborative effort to put this together, and it's really interesting how it all came about, which I don't know if everyone knows, but to think it all started with a trip you and I took to Beijing to tour our baby care facility with our USANA president, Jim Brown, our chief officer and managing director of China, Brent Neidig. And I remember we had a dinner with the team from Beijing University of Chinese Medicine, and we were talking about a way to get the story out to as many people as possible on where traditional Chinese medicine meets Western medicine and how people can use these concepts to take better care of themselves and explore new ways to address life's health challenges. And we all agreed there needed to be a platform that we could speak from. We joked that maybe we should create a book. And well, as we all know, it wasn't such a crazy idea because here we are, close to launching an incredible book on this concept and being the thought leader on the subject for people all around the world.
I got to say, this is, and kudos to you, Sana. You're taking your mission to a whole new level. There are practical applications when East meets West. And this is desperately needed. So the West understands this 5,000-year-old invaluable traditional medicine. And for a century, think about this. China has avoided this treasure in the hope of leapfrogging their legacy. I heard this actually from Dr. Zhu. Mao didn't really want to talk about old China. He wanted new China. But recent leaders have appreciated the importance of traditional Chinese medicine as an opportunity to spread the word of this ancient wisdom. So the top traditional Chinese medicine institution in the world, which is the Beijing University of Chinese Medicine that we're partnered with, is collaborating with USANA, where USANA is supporting scholarship at that school for worthy, needy students, funding research to help this wonderful leading university develop clinical trials. Because with those trials and the results, we're going to be able to understand in the West what's going on in the East. If Western physicians like me are given data in a way we're used to seeing it, all of a sudden we'll be using some of these traditional Chinese medicine herbs. Believe it or not, the main treatment for malaria, probably the leading killer of all humans for all history, is a traditional Chinese medicine herb. Inexpensive, affordable. We can do that, and USANA's already taken the lead doing clinical trials on products you are already, they're already in your packets. You're already able to share with others. We want to scale that, take it to the whole new level.
And I can't think of any other company on the planet that would be able to take arguably the foremost thought leader on wellness in the West, yourself, with the leaders in traditional medicine in the East, Beijing University and Dr. Anlong Zhu, put all that together and create this. And I can tell you, I think it'll be a really interesting topic for people to really listen to and dig into as we go forward. Now, I've had the pleasure to travel with you, to work as your key grip on shows, watch your show prep from behind the scenes. You're just about to begin season 13 of the Dr. Oz Show. You are equally as focused on your patients at New York Presbyterian Hospital. You know, I just got to ask you, is staying busy the key to your optimism?
I think it's part of it. I think the big mission for all of us is to find our purpose in life. You know, to believe our truth and understand what's out there that we're supposed to be challenged by. And when you really get passionate about it, you work hard, right? That's always, I think, the key experiment. I want everyone in the USANA family to take this little quiz home. I want you to ask friends for 3 words that describe you. That's it. They got to be friends, though. You'll see why. Those 3 words that they use to describe you, that's who you present to the world when you're passionate, when you're excited. And whatever that word happens to be, try to show up in that context. And usually working hard is easy to do if you love what you're doing. So whether it's a hobby or your work, find that opportunity and go after it.
One of these days I'll have to ask you my 3. So I know you are blissfully busy with your #1 commitment as a devoted husband and dad and doing grandfather duties to 4 adorable grandchildren. What is it about being a grandpa that makes your heart skip a beat?
I think for all of us, watching the next generation grow just warms my heart. Right? And my goal is to pass the world on to them as beautifully as it was handed to my generation. I think for everyone watching right now, that's really deep in our soul what we're supposed to be able to do. And we're blessed. We live in a remarkably safe time in human history. There's no massive wars. There's no nuclear Armageddon. We are healthier as a people. We have more tools to stay healthy than ever before. The big challenge, I think, in the world is not enough people know all those tools. That's why USANA is a remarkable opportunity to spread that wisdom, the things that actually make a difference in each other's lives. But we got to share that wisdom with our kids as well. And there's nothing like seeing a child's eyes light up when you give them an epiphany, a realization that they have agency over their future. They can control their destiny. That's the true power you want to give the next generation.
Yeah, and I think we are actually leaving it in a better spot than it was left for us. So you are truly a remarkable person, and we appreciate the impact you've had on the health of the world. Now, I know that you and your family come to Utah often. You've been fine-tuning your skiing skills. But there's one thing that makes me laugh every time I call you. You're always hanging out with one famous icon or another. During our Asia Pacific convention, you surprised us with a USANA exclusive interview with Martha Stewart, because you happened to be hanging out with her after a show taping, right?
That's right. And guess what, Dan? I did it again. That's right. For everybody in North America and Europe, this time it's a real estate mogul, the most famous one actually in America. Her name is Barbara Corcoran. She came on the Dr. Oz show at the end of this past season, and I thought this was a perfect opportunity for this fine group of USANA entrepreneurs from the Americas and Europe, because now you can hear from someone with sage advice. Respected. She's one of the sharks, by the way, in Shark Tank, one of the country's most successful and iconic entrepreneurs. And she actually wanted to do this. When she heard about USANA, she graciously agreed to share some of her secrets. So sit back and enjoy this USANA exclusive interview with Barbara Corcoran.
Hi, everyone. For this year's USANA Live Americas and Europe convention, I wanted to bring in a guest who knows that being part of a successful company, it means that you're focusing on health. And it's not only good for your business, but it's good for the soul. As a star of ABC's hit show Shark Tank, she has invested in countless winning ventures and was the founder of the uber-successful real estate empire, the Corcoran Group. I love to watch you on Shark Tank. I love all the things you do. You close deals, you make deals, you understand how to make decisions. But what's most impressed me about you, you seem to have an innate energy, an ability to just get going when everyone else sort of sluggishly figuring out the terrain. Where does that come from?
Well, I have a lot of energy because I never sit still, and I am always curious. And when you're curious about everything, it gets you around the next corner. So I'm always dying to see what's happening. So I don't know if it's real energy, but it comes across that way.
So how do you go from being a waitress to a $1,000 loan to a multi-million-dollar real estate empire? Just connect those dots for me, well, right? Especially for associates who are trying to build a business and may not have a path that's obvious to them.
I had a couple of advantages, honestly. I had nowhere to go but up. I had a poor background, so I wasn't at risk. I had no expectations. My parents didn't care what we did as long as we were nice people. That was what they dreamed about, be a nice person. So I had no monkey on my back like a lot of rich kids have today.
What's the biggest risk you took?
The biggest risk was probably starting the business, and I think the biggest mistake people make today is they develop a business plan and think that that's the answer. But the minute they get out in the street, it doesn't work. They'll find out everything wrong with it. So I think the most important thing in starting, especially a first business, is to just go and start it. You don't have to get it right. You just have to get it going. And people take so much time getting ready that the more they sit with it, they're going to find more things wrong with it, and it never happens. You got to get it out there.
What's your best advice for women who are entering businesses, trying to strive for success while also managing the demands of making a happy, healthy family?
Yeah. Well, women usually do most of the caregiving at home. So if you're going to start a business, I do suggest you have a business partner. I had one. I could have never built the Corcoran Group without it, okay? Because I had children, and I had my business, and I wanted to be a phenomenal mom, and I wanted to be a phenomenal boss. And you can't really do both without a lot of help. But for me, I separated very well. My kids wouldn't dare call me at the office unless they were dying. My husband used to call and pretend he was from the New York Times to get through to me. But when I got home at night, no, seriously, but when I got home at night, I just hyper-focus on my life there, and no one would dare call me from the office. So I think chunking up your time and separating your body into two people, I think was the key for me having a very happy home life and having a very happy business life as well.
You seem happy today as well. So the decisions you made as a young woman have paid off well. What is the most important aspect of living the good life to you?
Well, picking the right mate. I don't think you really pay enough attention to that when you're young. It's crucial to happiness, you know. But I think for me now, today, you know, you learn as you get older. I think surrounding myself with people who love me and having enough fun, those are my two priorities. And in the last year of COVID, let me tell you, the blessing has been everybody's had enough time to get their head on straight and realize what their priorities are. And that's been the only upside to this terrible year we've been through.
Barbara Corcoran, thanks for being a philosopher, a businesswoman, a mother.
Philosopher.
And a leader in many ways, and a great dancer.
And thank you for being a friend and not such a good dancer.
make everyone look good. God bless you.
My pleasure. Thank you, Dr. Oz.
I got to tell you, I can't believe you took the time to do that for us. I'm not surprised, though, because you are one of the good people we surround ourselves with. That was incredibly enlightening, and I wish no one from the office dared to call me at home. But sincerely, though, thank you so much for doing that, Dr. Oz.
It was my pleasure. By the way, I thought I danced okay with her. She wasn't, you know, she won with one of the contestants in Dancing with the Stars, so she's a real pro. But listen, one of the reasons I love doing the Dr. Oz show is to be able to share the beneficial insights about all sorts of topics and to gain valuable perspective from people that I respect. So you get Barbara Corcoran on there. She's not a doctor, but she knows a lot about the wisdom that makes you happy in life. And there's nothing healthier than being happy.
Oh, I agree. And I know we have some associates who would love to soak up some more of that wisdom you've got. You good with that?
I would love to hear from them.
All right. Well, everyone, the doctor is in and answering your questions live. If you'd like, send them in now on the live chat feature below. But let's start with some video questions from around the world. The first is from Saria in Mexico.
Hi, Dr. Oz. My name is Ariel Robles. I'm from Mexico. My question is, what is one simple thing that if people did it every day, it would change their health for the better?
Well, I love this tip so much. I do it myself every single day. You get a morning stretch routine because that not just relaxes your back, your arms, your hips, wherever you have tension in your life that you'll carry through the day, but stretching your limbs and your muscles also stretches the arteries of your body. So it turns out that people who are more limber, who can stretch better, have lower blood pressure. And high blood pressure is the #1 ager of all. So it's a nice way of treating your insides and your outsides. Stretch every morning when you first get up.
It also helps get that body moving. Thank you, Saria, for that great question. Now, continuing on, question 2 comes from us from Juliana in Colombia.
Hi, Dr. Oz. This is Juliana Arenas from Bogota, Colombia. How can we achieve work-life balance, working from home, an office, and social abilities? Thank you so much. Gracias.
Gracias, back to you. You got to ensure your work helps you and adds value to society as a whole. If you do that, then the work and the life merge, right? So either directly or indirectly, you got to help improve the everyday world around you. Your hobbies can do that if it doesn't happen at your job, but ideally you sort of nudge your job in that direction. USANA makes it easy to do that. Remember, the governing value, your target in life should be love.
One could argue that also includes family, right? We've spoken a lot about family. So let's keep this going. These are great questions. The next one we have is from our good friend Andre here in the United States. Andre?
Hey, Dr. Oz. Andre Gordon here, People's Champ. And let me tell you, I love the Metabolism Plus. My question for you today is regarding metabolism. Is there anything that I can do, maybe in addition to taking that supplement, that can support my metabolism? I'm 42. I have a naturally slow metabolism, I feel like. So in addition to moving every day, what else could I do to get my metabolism going?
Well, here's the thing that's sort of interesting to understand. Fundamentally, it's about building muscle mass. If you got muscle mass, as it grows, that muscle churns through calories like a furnace and will elevate your metabolism. But Andre, you asked a fascinating question. It turns out, and this is unbelievable, just this week, there was a beautiful article summarizing the data we have on metabolism. And listen carefully. Your metabolism from age 20 to age 60 doesn't change. It doesn't go down like everyone thinks it does. The reason you put a little weight on in your 40s and 50s is because you're not staying active. It's not because your metabolism is slowed. So your baseline metabolism may not be where you want to be. So yes, if there's things you can do to help that, do that. But build muscle mass, especially as you get older. Because when you get past 60 and your metabolism does start to slow down, you want to get that power back.
I think that's the big thing, right? Lifestyle, keep moving. All right, here's another question. This one comes from Angela in the United Kingdom.
Hi, Dr. Oz. You talk to so many people on your show giving health advice, but I'm just wondering, what's your own daily health routine?
I've got a pretty strict routine, and I tell you, that might be the biggest secret of all. Figure out what's important to you and get it done early in the day. So I get up in the morning, do the stretching I mentioned, then I break a sweat. It doesn't have to be for a long time. Just get moving so your body starts to sweat a little bit. You remove whatever's in your pores, but it also sort of gets your heart rate up. Then you want to make sure that you're eating, if you can, your breakfast a little later in the morning. Delay your breakfast. Push it back. I do that. It's called intermittent fasting. I learned it from Hugh Jackman, who's been on the show as well, and he learned it from bodybuilders. All those models, those actresses you see on the red carpet, they're intermittent fasting. Delay your breakfast a few hours. Eat your dinner a little bit earlier, so the window when you're eating is shorter. So maybe you have your breakfast at 10 and you have your dinner by 7 or 8. That means for 14, 15 hours a day, you're not eating any food while you're sleeping at night. And that is incredibly effective. And then I got to say this, and I bring it up a lot, sleep is a unheralded benefit. It's the single most underappreciated opportunity to stay healthy. So if you can get 7 hours a night, because you got to work at it, but if you get 7 hours, you'll be a winner.
I know you and I went skiing with Hugh Jackman, and we know it works because that man he's an incredible athlete as well as he's got the stamina of a 20-year-old. So Jocelyn in Mexico has an interesting question. Let's go to the next one.
Hi, Dr. Oz. My name is Jocelyn Meraz, and I'm from Mexico. And I have a question for you. You have accomplished so much in your career and life. What else would you like to conquer?
You know, I'm in the change business. I like making things better than how I found them. So I want to improve our public health more broadly. I think with COVID, there's been a lot of attention on the kinds of advice we give to people. And people don't recognize how important your basic health is. In the United States, 90% of people got admitted to the hospital with a COVID infection were either overweight, or hypertensive, or diabetic. They had illnesses, chronic illnesses, because they hadn't managed their own health well. So I want to push on those buttons. I mean, I'm right now, I was appointed and just reappointed to the President's Council for Fitness, Nutrition, and Sports. I think there's a lot we can do to get the average person around the world to realize how important baseline preventive health is. If you make it easy to do the right thing, with some of the tips we've been talking about today, people will do it. If you make it hard to do the right thing, they slip into the wrong direction.
And I know you graciously accepted that appointment on that council because you had nothing else to do. But I think that one, that's a big one, and we thank you for doing that because I think that'll make a big difference. So here's our last video question from Brenda right here in the United States. Brenda?
Hi, Dr. Oz. What is the best thing that we can do to age well?
Well, Brenda, I don't have to guess. We actually know this from the Blue Zones experience. The Blue Zones are places on the planet where people live unexpectedly long lives. In fact, they live to age 100 4 times more commonly than people in other parts of the world. And what do they do to live a long life? These are like Sardinia and Costa Rica and Okinawa. There are people in different parts of the world, but they do the same thing. They eat real food. They get up in the morning and eat real food, like the food that comes out of the ground looking the way it looks when we eat them, where you get nutrients from some source, like USANA multivitamins, but you have to get those nutrients into your body in every single day. It can't be done once in a while. Secondly, you've got to have daily rigorous activity. That's critical, because if you're not revving the engine of your body, then why would it stay in shape to keep you going for even longer? And then you want to spend time with good friends. We talked about family a lot, and Dan and I are very close to our families, but I like spending time with Dan too. So find your friends, your friend group, and spend time with them. Connect on things that matter. You add a little sleep into the mix, like I mentioned earlier, and you've got the recipe for success. That they use these Blue Zones with a lot of data supporting what I just said.
That's great. Now we've got some live chat questions. I assume you still got some more in you, but Angelica in Mexico is asking. This is a great question. What challenges did you face when you transitioned from primarily being a cardiologist to becoming a huge media personality?
The biggest challenge is you've got to harvest that that emotion you have taking care of one person, looking them in the eyes and connecting with them. And you got to channel that into the camera on the show. And so that's why I kept practicing medicine, because you can't memorize that. You have to actually do it. But there are remarkable similarities. The show and the operating room both require me to be in the middle, keeping calm and peace at the center of it all. I've got great people around me, producers, camera people, hair and makeup, but I also have OR technicians, anesthesiologists, assistants in the operating room, scrub nurses. And we have a lot of lights, a lot of room, but everyone is focused on the same mission, to make an experience better for the person they care about, whether it's the patient or the audience. And I think that's the beauty of the transition that I was blessed to be part of. And I want to again thank Oprah, because without her mentoring, I would never have gotten this far. That's what started my career. And as you know, Dan, she's still my partner on the show.
Yes, awesome. All right, now this one. You and your medical team have done a lot of deep dives into our products. Folks on the line are asking, what are the products that you guys see as your favorites, the USANA products?
I love Cellsentials. I just love the technology. I love that it gives you a baseline support system. It's like a trampoline for me, just gets you going every day. I happen to enjoy your shakes, but and the new bars are fantastic. And the reason I like those is because they're practical ways of getting the right nutrients into you if you're in a spot where it's not so easy to cook up the perfect breakfast for yourself. So it's those efficiencies. But I got to say, I'm addicted to your skin cream. And I use the moisturizer daily, and there's a serum that comes with it that I think is responsible for this boyish good look that I have. So kudos on the skincare products that you guys are continuing to innovate on.
Yeah, I don't think we can say we age you backward, but you do look phenomenal. So there you go.
I look good in your mask, by the way. I used it for Halloween.
Another use, yes. So Ray Lynn here in the United States has a great question here. What is one piece of advice you would give to help propel us forward from where we are today?
I think we need confidence. A lot of people feel isolated. They feel lonely. Recognize that we are here for each other. All you got to do is ask. I just finished making the commercials for Turkish Airlines, and the most recent one was primarily focused on our senses and how we don't use them. And the one line that I loved the most was the fact that our eyes can see tens of thousands of hues of color. All we've got to do is look up. And it's poetic to me, because that's what's holding us back. People think that they've sort of run into a brick wall, that life's gotten difficult, that they're running into obstacles. Well, that's the whole purpose of the struggle of life. You'd be bored if it was easy. So the opportunities that lie in front of us are much greater than we could ever imagine, that I could have ever imagined when I was younger. I feel blessed to be alive now. And I think if you keep that attitude and be the pep talk, the cheerleader for people around you, folks will come towards you. They want to be around winners. They want to be around people who see a light at the end of the tunnel, have a vision. Just remember, there's a fine line between a vision and hallucination. Make sure other people can see it.
I like that. That's going to be a good one. Well, I know that you've taken time out of your day. I know you're with your family, your beautiful granddaughter. We got to let you, Lisa's going to get mad at me if I don't let you get back to the family. You're truly an incredible friend, and all of us here at USANA, we really appreciate you taking the time out of your busy schedule to be here with us. Hopefully next time, I know we said this before, it will be face-to-face.
And it is always my pleasure spending time with you. I miss you guys. Love to Amy. Stay healthy, stay strong, stay resilient. Love to the USANA family.
Thank you, Dr. Oz. Coming up next, an insightful conversation between USANA chairman, past and present. Our CEO, Kevin Guest, talks one-on-one with our founder, Dr. Myron Wentz. We'll see you right back here in just a few minutes. Thanks, everyone.
This concludes your USANA Live All Access session. Thanks for watching.